Number 9. When we talk about being fully human, we tend to picture our bones, flesh, brain, and beating heart, and forget that inside and upon our bodies, trillions of microbes far outnumber our own cells. Your gut alone houses some 100 trillion bacteria. Some estimates say microbial genes outnumber human genes by a factor of 150. So, the conscious you? It's shaped and influenced constantly by that microscopic ecosystem. These microbes communicate with your immune system, modulate your cravings, even influence your mood and stress levels via the gut-brain axis. That alone blurs the line between you and your microbial tenants. When you take antibiotics, eat pre- or probiotics, or fight an infection, you're not just treating yourself. You're managing an entire internal planetary system. In effect, we are not singular human organisms. We are holobionts, host plus microbe communities. And that means in many ways, you're more ecosystem than single species. Number 8. Your DNA isn't just inherited from parents. It carries fossilized viral remnants, endogenous retroviruses, embedded within your genome due to infections of ancestors over millions of years. Roughly 8% of your genome consists of this viral heritage. In fact, some of these viral genes are critical. One viral-derived protein, syncytin, enables placental development in mammals. So when you were born, your earliest moments of existence were powered by a viral legacy. That seems to contradict the idea of 100% human. Instead, you're a living patchwork of human and viral sequences, a genetic collaboration spanning human evolution. We might say your body is not purely Homo sapiens, but an exciting mosaic shaped by ancient viral symbiosis. Number 7. It's common to think of ourselves as uniquely biological, but our brains are wired with artificial intelligence-style learning principles. Neurons adjust their strength depending on use, Hebbian learning. Just like AI's neural networks train through patterns, your brain reroutes itself after injury, adapts to new tasks, and edits itself based on inputs, just as deep learning models refine their layers. While this feels innately human, the metaphor is technical. Your brain is biologically an adaptive machine. That means your identity is data-driven, pattern-sensitive, and shaped by inputs, making you part human, part computer in terms of functioning. When you think, "I created a habit," it might be your brain's version of code executed repeatedly and updated, or overwritten. You aren't just flesh and synapse. You're a biological neural network in action. Number 6. Augmented humans are no longer sci-fi. From contact lenses monitoring glucose levels to brain-computer interfaces that allow paralyzed individuals to move robotic arms, our physiology is merging with technology. Think of cochlear implants restoring hearing, neural implants helping quadriplegics, or smartwatches tracking your heart rate. If you've used Google Glass, a Fitbit, or voice-activated assistant, even just a pair of reading glasses, you're already cyborg adjacent. You rely on technology to perceive, remember, sense, and function. That means a selfie is not just a biological imprint. It's encoding your image and emotions into digital memory. The consequence: the boundary between being fully human and being partly machine as a sensory processing partner continues to dissolve every day. Number 6. Beyond DNA sequence, your genome is decorated with chemical markers, epigenetic modifications that determine which genes are active. Stress, nutrition, trauma, and environmental exposures can change your epigenome. And yes, some of these changes can be inherited by your children. This means that your life experiences, like famine, war trauma, or chronic stress, can influence how certain genes are expressed in your offspring. You might never forget your grandmother's hardships, but your body can remember them and pass on modified gene expression patterns. That's not purely human inheritance in the classic genetic sense. It's a human epigenetic dialogue across generations. It means part of what makes you is experiential, wired chemically into your body. Number 5. Deep brain stimulators, cochlear implants, and brain implants for Parkinson's patients don't just restore function. They change how a person thinks, feels, even perceives self. Some recipients report altered personality traits after stimulation or memory devices. Elon Musk's Neuralink ambitions aim to allow memory augmentation or mood regulation. Once you begin augmenting your brain's primary functions digitally, identity itself becomes hybridized, not purely biological. If your memory is stored or extended by AI implants, if your motor hand is robotic, are you fully human anymore? Or a human-machine composite? That tension is increasingly real for patients with neural prosthetics. We cross the line from Homo sapiens into Homo technologicus, and that's something we can't yet fully define. Number 4. We mentioned earlier that your microbiome is your ecosystem, but more than that, it talks to your brain via metabolites, immune signals, and nerve pathways like the vagus nerve. Certain bacteria can influence your mood, anxiety levels, even your social behavior. If you're anxious, it might partially be because your gut flora is producing excess GABA or cortisol analogs. Activity in your brain, your cravings, and even your personality mood is influenced by gut messages. So, your emotional life isn't purely your own. It's co-authored by billions of bacteria. In that sense, cognition is co-created between your cells and your microbiota. Truly, a 100% human mind becomes a speck of anthropocentric fantasy. Number 3. Chimerism happens when individuals end up with 2 different sets of DNA, either from absorbing a twin in utero or through bone marrow transplant recipients carrying donor DNA. That means part of your blood or tissues might literally be someone else's genetically. Most chimeras never know unless they undergo DNA tests showing inconsistent results between tissue types. Could your liver and blood cells have different genetic origins? Absolutely. Unbeknownst to you, parts of your body may carry someone else's biology. That's no longer science fiction, it's biological reality, which begs the question, are you fully you or a tiny host to someone else's DNA inside? In that sense, we can be genetically 2 in 1, subverting our idea of singular self. Number 2. We've already dipped into technology, but let's go deeper. When was the last time you forgot a phone number or spelled a name? With Google in your pocket, your memory outsourced itself long ago. And that's not just banal. There's research showing that people remember fewer facts because they expect to look it up later. Our cognition is a two-way engine, one part biological, one part digital. We're reliant on tools to calculate, map, remember, speak, and learn. If your plane's mid-flight navigation is guided by GPS, not your instincts, are you still pure human? Surely not. We don't just control technology, we're symbiotic with it, and that makes us hybrid thinkers. Experiencing cognition through technology is now normal, but it means we're part flesh, part gadget, part cloud. Final thoughts. As we look across these 9 lenses, from microbes to machines, viruses to chimeras, it becomes clear that being 100% human is a myth. We are biologically and cognitively hybrids, ecosystems, gene carriers, experiential creatures, augmented beings. Our species definition must evolve, acknowledging that humanity is no longer purely biological. With every implant, app, or strain of engineered bacteria, we shift closer to a new typology that blends biology, technology, and culture. Recognizing that complexity isn't dystopian, it's truth. And in that truth lies incredible potential to deliberately shape who and what we become as humans. So, are you ready to admit you're not full human, but so much more?